नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा करुणामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्मकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
You were born to serve. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Name. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashtadadesharine. Very grateful, very happy, very honored to be with you. Thank you for coming. Within this world, Bhaktivedanta Manor is a very special, holy place for many historical reasons. When George Harrison of the Beatles offered as a gift to Srila Prabhupada this property, Srila Prabhupada was so overwhelmed, so happy. When he came here, I think first time he came on a helicopter. And after that experience, he made sure he never flew by helicopter. Devotees have creative enthusiasm. but he truly considered this his home. He made it his headquarters for all of Europe. He spent so much time in this temple room giving classes, installed the deities, danced with devotees, led kirtans with devotees, gave so many classes. Met so many people of all different categories of society, and changed so many lives. Where I was living many thousands of miles away, I would sometimes hear that Srila Prabhupada would say that Radha Gokulananda were the most beautiful deities in the world. Of course, Krishna reveals his beauty in reciprocation to the love of his devotees. Many challenges here. For some time, there was no public festivals allowed. Thank you, Prabhu. It was a struggle. It seemed like a hopeless struggle. A few devotees in a movement that was just started in a very powerful country. Against all odds, practically the society, the government, and with such dignity and grace and devotion, ultimately got the blessings of the society and the government, and now Janmashtami, it's the largest festival in the Western world in Krishna consciousness. Just a couple days ago I was walking around and seeing volunteers. It's really beautiful. There's doctors and lawyers and business people and farmers and brahmacharis and mothers and fathers and professors and students. They're all rolling samosas together. There's no high, there's no low, there's just devotion. It's wonderful. There were little children, their parents, their grandparents, perhaps their great-grandparents. They're all rolling samosas together. And then I saw people who are making the most significant donations and decisions for so many years here, helping to organize all the projects, and they're putting poles in the ground and directing people where to park their cars. So this is the spirit of devotion without false ego, that is actually attracting Krishna to appear. When Krishna appears in this world, not everybody recognizes him. Not everyone even likes him. Varahadev appeared. How could anyone but Vishnu appear as such a gigantic boar? So beautiful. Usually boars are not considered beautiful by anyone except boars. Female boar thinks that the male boar is very, very handsome. And as a Swami, I don't want to meditate too much on female boar. But for a male boar, the female boar completely captures and enchants. It's mind, it can't control herself. That's why there's so many boars. For us, a boar is a boar. For another boar, a boar is something very, very enticing. But here is a gigantic boar who's so beautiful. He has lotus-like eyes. Everything about him is absolutely captivating, not only to boars, but to all species of life. Even the demigods were chanting his glories.
Need to adjust the microphone. The net is not coming loud enough on this one. It's a message coming from upstairs. So
quite a significant adjustment. But Hiranyaksha, there was nothing and no one he hated more than Varahadev. He didn't see his beauty. He saw him as an enemy. Little Prahlad saw Nrsimhadeva as most beautiful. He saw his nails like lotus petals. But Hiranyakashipu, he saw Nrsimhadeva with such fear, hate, envy. Krishna reveals according to our state of consciousness, according to our surrender. When we have devotion, when we take shelter of the Lord reveals himself for who he is. But when we want to exploit, when we want to be selfish, when we want to live according to our ego's dictations, then we cannot see Krishna as he is. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, for one who sees me everywhere and everything in me, for that person I'm never lost. Nor is that person ever lost for me. So when we actually can connect with our true souls, when we begin to awaken our love for Krishna, we see Krishna in everything and everyone in Krishna. We see every living being as a part of Krishna. We see every inanimate object as Krishna's property, created by Krishna. I was recently in Colorado. And I was to give a lecture at night, but some wonderful devotees decided to bring me to a place where I could walk around for the day. So they took me to El Dorado Springs. Have any of you been there? It's really incredible. It's in the Rocky Mountains. There's beautiful mountains. And water is rushing down from the mountains, cascading, and it's it's splashing, and there's waterfalls, and there's whirlpools. And I was sitting on a rock, and I was seeing these incredible waterfalls. How the water was hitting a rock, and it was going all around the rock, and it was with such force. There was foam around it, and the water was hitting the rocks and going into the air and making a mist. And the types of formations the water was having as it was falling and as it was coming up was incredible. That was happening all around me in so many places. And there was these giant birds, they looked like eagles, were flying above. And there were bees buzzing with beautiful flowers. There was immense rocks in these mountains. These stones were probably thousands of tons. Beautiful formations. And I was confused, because if there's one little beautiful thing, you focus on it. Everything was so beautiful. So what am I supposed to look at? Every time I looked at one thing, I would think, no, I should be looking there. I should be looking at the eagles. No, I should be looking at the mountain. No, I should be looking at the water here. No, but the water's really beautiful there, and I don't want to miss anything. Did you ever have an experience like that? You can't really appreciate anything because you're trying to appreciate everything, and you can't appreciate everything because everything's everywhere. So then I had a really nice meditation. It was an experience that every particle of Krishna's creation, if we're looking for Krishna, we could find Krishna there. The little bees that were the birds that were flying ahead, the waterfalls. It's all Krishna's opulence. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. Krishna tells I'm the absolute truth is perfect and complete, and all emanations coming from the absolute truth are perfect and complete. If we just are looking and we're looking for Krishna in the little bee, we're looking for Krishna the eagle, we're looking for Krishna the rocks or the water. Everything else is actually there. We can find Krishna in one little place. We can actually appreciate Krishna everywhere without looking everywhere. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. But Krishna's all attractive. And Krishna reveals himself according to our surrender, wherever we may be. The story of Janmashtami. Vasudeva and Devaki were in a prison. Why did they keep having children? Because it's quite traumatic. Devaki would have a little baby, and she loved her baby. The baby was living in her womb for so many months, and as soon as the baby's born, a mother, her helpless little child, and the father's looking, oh my. And these are really beautiful babies. And as soon as the baby's born, Kamsa comes down and whacks it against the rock, breaks its head open and kills it. Right in front of the mother and father. First child, second child, third child, fourth child, fifth child. Would you have another child? They're in the same room. They can't escape Kamsa. But they knew that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu was going to be their child. They were instruments. Krishna was going to come to the world to attract everyone's hearts who would simply open their hearts to receive him for all time to come. To assist Krishna in his mission, they were willing to go through all of that in prison. year after year. And then finally, after all that, Balaram appears in Devaki's womb. And he gets transferred to the womb of Rohini. So Devaki never even got to see him. And then finally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-attractive, Krishna tells in Gita, all beautiful things within the entire creation are but a spark of my splendor. And the full beauty of Krishna is now the little child of Devaki and Vasudeva. But they're told on that very night, bring me across the Yamuna River to Vrindavan, Gokul. So they only got to see him for a few minutes. Then his whole childhood, he grew up somewhere else. This is Vasudeva and Devaki. In order to show their love for Krishna, in order to serve and prepare Krishna for his mission, they were willing to endure so much. So here at Bhaktivedanta Manor, a lot was endured. I'm not going to say you encountered Kamsa, but something like that. So many obstacles, so many difficulties. It's like a prison in the sense that people weren't allowed to come. And then when everything became auspicious, the devotees, hundreds of devotees, hundreds and hundreds, volunteers are coming to do seva. And the beautiful thing about bhakti is seva is not high or low according to the particular thing we do. What makes service high or low is the love in which it is offered. Yudhisthira was a king. He was doing his service. The gopis, they're making flower garlands, milking cows. Almost anybody could do those things. But they were doing it with such love, such devotion. That famous story, Duryodhana arranged a magnificent feast of the finest foods for Krishna. And Krishna walked by his house, went to Vidura's house, who wasn't even expecting him. And all he got was a banana. But Krishna was totally happy. Because Krishna bhaktya mama vijanati. It is bhakti that pleases Krishna. It is through devotion that Krishna reveals. So all of you parking cars, building tents, doing electrical wiring, cooking samosas and so many pizzas. Organizing so many things, digging ditches. Pranabandhu Prabhu, unless you know who he is, when he's in the temple in his devotional clothing playing his mridanga, we see Pranabandhu Prabhu. And then you go out into the fields and you see somebody, digging things and covered with dirt, wearing workers' clothes. And then you ask, who's that? And he said, I am Pranabandhu. Shruti Dharma Prabhu, Gauri Prabhu. So many of the devotees. Whatever is required And because of that sacrifice, because there's no ego, there's just a desire to serve, it has inspired so many people of all categories of society to be serving together. And the result? Radha Gokulananda are so pleased. Srila Prabhupada is so grateful. And on a common Janmashtami here, over 2 days, 70, 80,000 people come for darshan, to see dramas, to hear kirtans, to hear kantas, and so many incredible presentations. Scientific presentations, culinary presentations, artistic presentations, media presentations, landscaping. And I really see that's what makes the spirit of Janmashtami here so special. Because so many devotees, without selfish motives, without interruption, are eager to serve together. Krishna manifests. Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratveshe Namaha. Rupa Goswami composed this prayer in glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of all incarnations, he's the most magnanimous, most munificent, most merciful. Because he's giving what no avatar has ever given. He's given Krishna to everyone and to anyone. The Krishna of Vrindavan. Kaviraj Goswami tells that Krishna was thinking. He's revealing to this great saint how he thinks. And I have appeared in so many incarnations and I have so many devotees. But not yet in this day of Brahma have I revealed myself in my fullest, truest relationships with my devotees. That love and service for me that is crippled by a sense of awe and reverence does not truly satisfy my heart. But in Vrindavan, the love is spontaneous, so unconditional, that it doesn't even matter if Krishna's God for the residents of Vrindavan. They're beyond that. Krishna's just so beautiful, just so lovable. My mother, Yashoda Mai, sometimes she chastises me when I eat dirt. My father, he teaches me how to walk. And when I fall down, his heart breaks. Gopal, please get up again, try again. And later the Gopas, they play with Krishna. They wrestle with Krishna. And Krishna accepts defeat from Sridhama. And Sridhama says, now let me ride on your shoulders so that all of Brajbhumi knows that I defeated you in wrestling. And Krishna puts Sridhama on his shoulders and dances around Vrindavan, and everyone says, Jai Sridhama. And with the gopis, they dance with Krishna. Not as the Supreme Godhead, but as the ultimate object of love. Krishna puts his being God in the background in Vrindavan. and captivates the devotees with his beauty, with his sweetness, with his style, with his incredible pastimes of love, and with the sweet sound of his flute. That is Krishna. When Krishna came to this world, there was only a very small circle of people who understood who he truly was. And only a small group of devotees, in comparison to the universe, that participated in his eternal pastimes. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, the Panchatattva, they broke open the seal of love of Godhead. And they tasted the sweetness of Krishna's beauty, Krishna's sweetness, Krishna's lila, Krishna's grace. And distributed it to the world, to anyone, to everyone who was simply willing to accept it. And how to accept it? Through the simplest process of just hearing about him and chanting his holy names. Lord Chaitanya and his associates, they did not think who was fit or who was unfit to receive Krishna. They did not think where was a suitable place or what was not a suitable place. They were so eager to distribute love for Krishna. Krishna was so willing and eager to give himself to anyone that whoever would simply receive it, Krishna would give himself. So this Harinam Sankirtan Krishna, as Lord Chaitanya is giving himself in the holy names. Dina hina yatta chilo harinam udharilo tara sakshi jagai madhai. Even Jagai and Madhai, they were so immoral, so unethical, so selfish, so arrogant, so violent. But yet, when they humbly accepted the instructions of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to chant the holy names of the Lord, Krishna gave himself in full. And even today, in a place called Katwa, there is the tomb, the samadhi of Madhai. And even 500 years after he passed from this world, saints, acharyas,